guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emma. Please don't forget to hit subscribe and the like button, be my friend, and we'll just have a great time together. As many of you know, I have been living in London for the past 4 years. I moved here for university, but I have actually completely just integrated my life here. I only go home maybe once a year for a couple weeks at most. Obviously, my parents are there and everything, but my life is here. All my belongings are here, all my friends are here, I work here, I live here. And so I thought it would be fun to make a video about my tips for moving abroad, or even studying abroad, because obviously you're still abroad. And anyway, the first tip that I have is to do your homework beforehand. I figured out that there's a lot of things that I can't get in London that I'm very used to getting at home, even if it's just like certain medicines and prescriptions that I need. And so I needed to figure out how I was gonna get that sorted when I came here. I was able to get a doctor that was able to give me my prescriptions and stuff like that, but you need to make sure that you aren't putting yourself in a situation that you are just completely screwed. Also, emergency services are different everywhere. So in the States, you call 911. Here you call 999. You don't want to end up in a situation where you don't know how to call the police. Definitely look that up. Look up where the nearest hospital is to you, because you never know what's going to happen. You might need that. Number 2, figure out what the locals do. You're not going to have the best time if you only do touristy stuff. That's not what it's like to really live in a different city or a different country. Obviously, go and see the sights, do the touristy things, but also make sure to see what people do when they live there, and you'll get a completely different experience, and you'll really feel like you're part of the community and see different things that you won't be able to find on Yelp and such. My next tip is to walk everywhere. That is 100% how I figured out my way around London, was that I walked as much as I could. Obviously, it's not that feasible in big areas, but even just around my neighborhood, I figured out the best way to get from point A to point B just by walking it a bunch of times. If it was the same amount of time to take the bus as it is to walk, I would just walk, because A, get exercise, and it really helps you get your bearings, and you might find things along the way that you didn't realize were there before. So I found a bunch of really cute restaurants and cafes by walking by them. And so I would really highly recommend walking everywhere when you're still trying to figure out a city, because it entirely makes you feel like you know the city after that. Next, don't be afraid to ask questions. I know you don't want to seem like a tourist and that you don't know what you're doing, but if you need to figure out something, ask. Locals will probably be willing to help you. If you want to know what good bars there are, everyone is definitely happy to tell you their recommendations. If you are confused about what a certain saying is and you don't want to seem dumb, ask. As long as you are nice about it and want help, people are typically willing to help you. So don't be afraid to make a fool of yourself and ask questions, because in the long run, it's gonna help you and you're gonna regret if you don't. Next tip, join a gym. Go to classes, go to events that you see. It will really help you meet people and feel like you really live somewhere. Obviously, you might be moving anywhere in the world. I don't know what it's like in other places other than London, so I apologize for just using London examples, but it's what I know. So if you see that there's a pub quiz going on, go to it. You don't need to know anyone, just mingle. Go and tell people that you're new and that you've just moved here, and everyone will be happy to include you for the most part. Obviously, there's like assholes everywhere. Don't be surprised if you run into some jerks in places. They're not all gonna be like that, but you will come across that every once in a while. That should be its own tip. But anyway, go to events, go to classes, go to the gym, talk to people, just get yourself out there. Don't be hauled up in your room or your flat or house or whatever it is that you're living in, not doing anything. Even if you don't have plans and you haven't met anyone yet, go out and explore. If you see a flyer for an event, go to it, because you have nothing to lose. You might meet some people there. You might find that you're really interested in something that you didn't realize it. You might really get a taste for the culture. And so definitely be open to all the possibilities that you can run into. I feel like I just went really off that tip. I went kind of all over the place. In summary, do things. One of the biggest ones that I definitely think is important is don't focus on the differences between cultures and where you're living versus where you consider home. If you think about the exchange rate too often, you're just gonna get down in the dumps about how expensive it might be. If you compare the cuisine to what you're used to, if you aren't okay with how some people call some things and like just certain situations, don't compare it to what you used to know, because it's a completely different culture. It's a new place. It's okay for things to be different, and so be willing to embrace it. Don't get stuck on the fact that it's different, because isn't that the whole point of moving abroad, is that it's different and you're experiencing something new? So kind of got off track on my point. God, my mind is just going everywhere right now. I apologize if this video is just ridiculous. And finally, enjoy your time wherever you are. If you're in Europe, I know it's tempting to travel every weekend and see everywhere, but you also want to live where you're staying, and so really try to enjoy that as well. I know it's tempting to travel every weekend and go away and go and see everything. You can do that for your entire life. Obviously, if you're studying abroad for a semester or a year or something, it's less time, but I personally really believe that you should... Don't really know where I was going with this. Travel, but not too much. Figure out what it's like to actually live in the place that you're in instead of leaving every weekend. Take advantage of everything that a city has to offer. Go to different areas than you wouldn't usually explore the countryside. It'll be one of the best experiences of your life if you ever decide to move abroad. I could not recommend it any higher. Of course, it's really hard being far away from my family, and it sucks when my friends leave because it is a very international place, and so I do have friends all over the world, and it is kind of hard. I would not change it for the world. I absolutely love living abroad, and I hope that someday... Oh my god. This video is gonna be so bad. Might not even post it. I think I say that about every video that I make, that I just probably won't even post it. Anyway, I have a lot of tips about moving, so if you ever want to hit me up and ask me, why, I will tell you. Basically, just enjoy your time. Don't be afraid to adapt. Ask questions, befriend locals. It'll be a great time and you'll enjoy it. And I'm gonna go now because I feel like I'm just rambling in this video so weird. Okay, bye!